Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025, and welcome to the Visionary Leaders Podcast. I'm Aisha Harley. I'm one of the founders of the Visionary Leaders, and we are thrilled to have you here. Join us every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time as we explore all things wellness, essential oils, and doTERRA. If you miss a live episode, you can catch up anytime on YouTube, Apple Podcast, or Spotify. You can stay connected with us by signing up for our newsletter and text reminders at hellovisionary.life. Today's topic is Thrive in 2025. Join us to kick off the new year with intention and inspiration. In today's episode, we'll align our hearts and minds to set the stage for an extraordinary 2025. Drop a smile in the chat if you are ready. Here is what is coming up today. We are going to do a calming guided meditation to center yourself and set the tone for the new year ahead. We are going to have reflective time to choose your word of the year, which is a powerful anchor to keep you inspired and focused, and we'll talk more about that. And tips for selecting the perfect essential oil to support your intention and amplify your energy. So again, grab your journal, your pen, some frankincense, some wild orange, get cozy. And Ariana is going to start us off by talking about the new year, which is also the year of the wood snake. So I'll pass the call over to you, Ariana.
Hello, everyone. Let's see. Now, all of a sudden, oh, there we go. He's just trying to switch the slide. So, hello and welcome. In the Gregorian calendar, we are at the new year, 2025, and I'm curious if anyone has felt a shift. I know I have. Definitely different than the past few New Years prior. And then for the lunar calendar, we will be moving into the out of the year of the dragon and into the year of the wood snake. And that will be on January 29th. So we're not quite there yet, but we wanted to talk a little bit about it to get you prepared. And I know I resonate with many practices coming from China and Japan around the new year. And I tend to feel like the new year is, I'm a little more connected to the lunar new year. So you can check in and see if you are as well. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about what to expect during the wood snake. Um, and so the snake briefly represents wisdom, knowledge, intelligence, intuition, and creativity. Snakes are also associated with good luck, prosperity, fertility, and longevity. In some legends, snakes are considered divine messengers and guardians of sacred spaces. Snakes are also revered for their ability to shed their skin and renew themselves, symbolizing transformation and rebirth. Are you prepared to shed your old skin and move forward into this new year? I definitely feel that I am, and I'm ready to thrive. And Dr. Mika sent us a little message. She was unable to, she has a cold, so she couldn't talk today. So I'm going to read her message. She said what she wanted to say about the year of the snake is it's about shedding old skin, right? And so we just were speaking of that and allowing it to easily fall away, allowing things that don't serve you to be shed. It's a great time right now before we move into the year of the snake to clean your house, to clean the clutter out of your house, and also to clean the clutter out of your mind, right? The things we don't need, let them go. Maybe old habits that aren't serving us. Maybe we are spending too much time scrolling on our phone, for instance, and we make a commitment to do a nice practice in the morning, maybe a spiritual practice or using our oils, and being more mindful. And Dr. Mika recommends using the Zindecrine blend to help ease transitions. Rub it on the bottoms of your feet for 40 days straight. From a Chinese medicine perspective, during times of transition, it is helpful to support the endocrine system and help the organs to filter. And Zindecrine is also just such a great detoxifying blend. It's going to support the liver. So I love that recommendation. Go ahead and write in the chat if I'm going to start today. So if anyone wants to join me or join us for 40 days and rub Zindecrine on the bottoms of your feet, please type in the chat if you're going to join us. And so moving on, we're going to talk about choosing your word for 2025. And Aisha, do you want to talk about this one?
Yes, absolutely. So several years ago, my coach Tiffany Peterson introduced me to this concept. It's probably been around for longer than that, but that's when I was introduced to it. And rather than choosing goals, which of course you can also do, you can ground yourself and choosing a word. So raise your hand if this is a practice that you already have. I'm just curious to see, or drop in the chat if you've chosen a word already. And if you've already chosen a word, we'd love to hear what it is. And then it looks like some of you may have, and then maybe is this concept totally new to others of you? I'm also curious if some of you've never ever done this. And let me go ahead and mute really quick. So it's a really wonderful, oh, here we go. Yes, Dr. Mika, ease, harmony, and joy. It's a, Marty says, this is truth. Hold on, let me mute. I'm doing admin and speaking at the same time.
Yeah, and
So,
let me jump in, Aisha, while you do
go
that for a
ahead.
minute. I also invite you can choose a few words. I know I'm kind of paring mine down, but something I love about choosing a word is we'll talk a little more about this, but it helps you to know where to go back to. So I have one of my number one things for this year. It's actually two words, but it's strong chi, or if you're not familiar with chi, that's energy. That's an energy system that moves in our body, right? So I want to feel just healthy and good. So that's, for 2025, I'm like, ooh, that's what I want to bring in: powerful, strong immune system and health. So when I think of strong chi, I already get a feeling in my body like, oh, yes, I want that.
And that feeling state is really, really important, because if you are setting some other goals around your health, around your business, around your relationships, if you also ground that goal or that intention in a feeling and focus on holding that feeling, how do you want to feel when X happens, but actually start feeling that now as if it's already happening. And so, again, this word is something that can just sort of ground you throughout the year to be a reminder of kind of a state that you want to continually bring yourself back into. So, whether you have a meditation practice, a prayer practice, whether you walk and exercise, however you ground yourself, hold this word and this intention. It's also something you can do before you go to bed at night, is literally just take a few moments and ground yourself into the feeling of that word. Or when you wake up in the morning, you could write this word on some post-it notes and put it around your house. You can put it on your phone, like on your phone screen. So there's different ways just to kind of remind yourself. And so we've given just some examples here, just to kind of help prompt your thinking. So a word could be receive, connection, tenderness, courage, abundance, focus, gratitude, joy, resilience, connection, growth, peace, freedom, empowerment. Again, these are just ideas to kind of get you thinking. And we are now going to move into a meditation because what we'd like you to do is drop into more of an intuitive state and get out of the thinking mind state. And so you can begin to like settle into what this word is. So go ahead and grab your frankincense. And if you have wild orange, you can grab both of them and take the frankincense and just put a couple drops in your hand. I just have the frankincense with me right now. So if you have the wild orange, you can also put a few drops of that. Make sure that you're comfortable. So if you're running around the house listening to this call and you have a moment just to sit down for a moment and ground yourself, please do so. And let's bring our hands together and rub your hands together. Just create a little bit of heat between your hands. And then when you're ready, bring your hands up to your nose. You just make a little cup and close your eyes. And we're going to take 3 long, deep breaths together, just bringing the frankincense in. So take a nice, long, deep inhalation. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And then bring your hands and just rub a little bit right on the brow. This is called the third eye point, and this is your area of intuition. So just rub a little frankincense on that point. We want to awaken that area. And then you can either place your hands right over your heart, or you can place them in your lap, whatever is comfortable for you. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, just keep your eyes closed. As I welcome you to this moment of reflection and intention. We're just going to take these next few minutes to continue to center ourselves, to set the tone for this new year. And we're going to choose a word during this process that will help anchor us through this new year. So we're going to start by doing a beautiful practice. It's called box breathing. And when we bring our awareness to our breath, it actually helps quiet the mind so we can actually gain access more deeply into our intuitive state. This also helps settle your nervous system, and it's a wonderful practice. It's very simple. I'm going to guide you through it. So if you think of your breathing almost like a box, we're going to inhale a count of 4, and I'm going to guide you through it. We're going to hold the breath for a count of 4. We're going to exhale for a count of 4. And then we're going to hold the breath out for a count of 4. So I'm going to guide you through the first couple of them, and I'm going to count the breath. And then we'll do a couple in silence. And we're just going to do 3 cycles. We'll experience this together. So let's go ahead and inhale. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. And now you're going to hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to hold the breath out. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do that again. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And do your best to hold your breath steady with my counting. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hold the breath out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So do that one more cycle on your own. Just keeping the eyes closed. When you complete that cycle, just return to a long, deep, relaxed breath, just allowing your body to soften with each exhale. And just allowing yourself to become grounded and present, connected. And as you come into this space of center, just ask yourself without overthinking it. This is just allow whatever comes, just allow it to come. And bring your attention to the year ahead and ask yourself, what is my grounding word for 2025? And just watch what appears in the space. You might get a couple words that appear for you. Just let them flow, don't overthink them, and just let yourself settle into what that word is for you. What word resonates with the life you want to create? And this word might reflect a feeling, a value, or a guiding intention that will help you stay focused and aligned. And just trust that your intuition knows exactly what you need. And now, if you have your word, when you're ready, you can open up your journal. If it's not quite there yet, we'll have a little bit more time, and write your word down in your journal. And I'm going to give you this journal prompt. How does this word reflect the life I want to create in 2025? I'll say that again, and I'll type it in the chat as well. How does this word reflect the life I want to create in 2025? So allow yourself to explore how this word can guide your decisions, your actions, and your mindset in this coming year. And again, let it serve as an anchor as you navigate opportunities and challenges. And just let yourself write freely in your journal. We're going to take about 3 minutes. And so go ahead and just please freely write. I put the question in the chat again. How does this word reflect the life I want to create in 2025?
go ahead and just finish up your last thoughts. If there's anything that comes to you, you want to add. And as we move on, keep your journal handy. If some inspiration or ideas come in, go ahead and add those. And if you want to, go ahead and share the word that if you haven't done it already, that you've chosen in the chat. I will share with you guys. When I started this, when I started talking, my idea was strong chi. That's what I had mentally had chosen. And after doing this practice, I landed on my word for 2025 to be held. And I chose that because being held, that word to me feels like getting the resources, getting the support, having time, having everything that you need. So it's this just strong foundation of support. So when I come back to that one word, the feeling in my body is just like, it's a good feeling, right? So again, go ahead and share yours. And I want to share a little bit about anchoring. So
Oh, wait, Ariana,
yeah.
let's just take a moment if people are comfortable in sharing their words. It's not required, but it would be really fun to see the words that people came up with. So Bettina has kindness. Um,
Hmm.
PJ, I don't know if that's your name, but PJ Bed, renew, commit, stay grounded. Linda, love and intention. Sarah, elite. Love it. Anybody else want to share?
And does anybody want to come on camera and share your experience?
Marty, trust. And that is my truth. Yes. Jeannie, to emanate the light. Nicole, wonder and flourish. Marilyn, flourish. I love that. Catherine, heart centered. Dr. Amika, ease, harmony, and joy. Yeah. And does anybody want to share their experience around this before we move on? You can just hop on.
Hi, it's Marty. I would love to share my experience if you would let
Yes,
me.
please.
Um, so the word trust for me came up multiple times over the last few days, because it's really about trusting oneself and trusting my own instincts and trusting the world is a safe place and everything's going to work out and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and so then just as you were doing this guiding with us, I was like, what oil would be? And immediately it was coriander. And I'm like, coriander? And then I looked it up just a second ago and I'm like, it's the oil of integrity, specifically integrity with oneself. And this may be someone who's trapped in a cycle of serving others while neglecting their own needs. And I was like, oh, hello. And so,
Wow.
Love it.
many of you don't know me that well, but this was just like, wow, okay, this is my message. And it was about being true to yourself, authentic, listening to your inner guidance and intuition, which is a huge, focus for me this year, integrity, unique, and being honoring what's unique about oneself. And so anyway, I love this exercise. Thank you so much for guiding this, my friends.
Yeah,
So,
well, that's the perfect segue into choosing our oil. I love that. And
oh, sorry, I
isn't
thought we were
that
supposed to already do
powerful?
that. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. No, that's perfect if that came
Okay.
up to you. But isn't it perfect how it came to you and then you looked into that and you're like, oh, yes, that's perfect.
And now I
So,
have to get my coriander, so I'll be back.
yes, yes.
Coriander is so great. So yeah, so moving into choosing your oil, and that was perfect. And I love that. I just want to affirm to everyone's word that I heard, yes, yes, yes. I wish that for you. And Marty just shared coriander came to her. And I wanted to give you a few ideas if you're new to the oils or if you're like, how do I choose an oil? There's many ways to do it and there's no right or wrong. So I'll share some of the ways that I've chose my oil, and please, you guys feel free to come on camera and share how you've shared yours or chosen yours, excuse me, or type into the chat. So one thing that I love to do is I have my oils in a storage box and I have all of them there. And I love to close my eyes and choose my non-dominant hand. So for me, that's my left hand, and just choose one, and that gets my mind out of the way. And I've had so many experiences like Marty where like I'll choose one, and then I have a great book called Emotions, and essential oils in the emotions book. We can get you a link to that if you want to find that book if you don't have it. But I'll look it up and I'll say, what is this oil about? And every single time it has just landed like the perfect oil, just like it came to Marty. And I love that practice because sometimes I'll find an oil that like I wouldn't, it's like I would always choose rose or jasmine, or if you know me, like I love the flower. So like those are no brainers for me. But sometimes I'll pick an oil that I'm like, oh, I really need this. And it's funny that you got coriander, Marty, because that was one that I kept getting in the past too. I was like, coriander, like what? And then now I've fallen in love with that. So that's one way. There's essential oil card decks. So if you have some of those, sometimes you can just pick a card. You can also look at the benefits of the oils if you're, oh, sorry, I set a timer. Um, if you look at the benefits of the essential oils and you want to be really scientific about it, and you're like, I really am feeling somewhat depressed. It's winter time. I'm sluggish. We know all of the citrus oils are wonderful to lift your mood and create happiness, right? So many ways to go about it. And then this is one that's really important. Trust your nose. When I work with people, sometimes I'll know what some of the oils do scientifically and energetically, but it's always the best evidence. If I have three choices, say, I'll let the person smell it and I'll watch their body. And there's always one where their whole body is just like, yes, yes, it gives me a body yes. So those are ways that you can have assistance choosing your oil, or if it just comes to mind, if it just one comes in like, hey, coriander, I'm here, then that's perfect too. And so moving on, so let's talk about anchoring your intention. So when we anchor something, perhaps you have heard there's many practices of anchoring, and you might not connect it with the word anchoring, but that's what you're doing. So if you've ever done tapping, this is anchoring. If you use your essential oils and you put it with an affirmation or a word, this is anchoring. If you suffer from anxiety and you use your eyes, this is something you can do. If you have anxiety, if during an anxiety attack, you can use all your senses to get back in a room, right? So where am I right now? I'm looking at a lamp. I see a blue lamp. I see orange light, right? So you start identifying what's in front of your eyes. You start listening to what you can hear. You start smelling what you can smell, and you start touching what you can touch and you can taste, right? So it's bringing, in short, anchoring is bringing the senses together with a mindset or an intention that you want to achieve. And so this is such a powerful practice. And if you have chosen your word, what I invite you to do, maybe when you wake up in the morning, maybe if you get thrown off kilter, is to simply take your chosen oil and choose the perfect one for you, or it could be a blend. I really love frankincense and wild orange. I mean, it's just so classic. If you don't know where to start with frankincense, wild orange, and do what we have done. Put a few drops in your hand, smell, and then I'm going to bring the word in held. I'm held, I'm supported, and I'm going to call that feeling into my body. I also wanted to speak to, this can be really helpful when we when we're, it's part of goal setting, but when we're trying to get somewhere, sometimes it's establishing new habits. So for instance, if I'm clear that my intention, that my anchor point, that where I want to come back to is feeling held, feeling supported, then I can make decisions from that point. If I am being asked to do something and maybe I'm kind of getting a no in my body, but I feel like, oh God, I feel bad. I want to help that person out. I can come back to my intention and say, does that make me feel held? Does that make me feel supported? Do I have that to give right now? And then I can have clarity of maybe that's a no. Maybe that my answer in this time is a no, because my intention is to have support. Doesn't mean I can't help people, but it can just be my compass of what to say yes to and what to say no to. Will that get me closer to feeling strong and supported? I think overcommitting and being super busy can tax our nervous system. And in this day and age, we're so pushed to do that, right? So having times where we take a break and say, actually, no, I need to do my morning practice before I agree to help you or jump into this other thing. And so that is, to sum it up, anchoring. Is there any questions about anchoring? You can type them in the chat, or you could jump on, or if anybody wants to add anything, please feel free. And if there's not, I'm just going to give you some ideas. So if you want more courage in your life, peppermint or frankincense would be a phenomenal choice. If you're trying to bring balance into your life, you could choose lavender or the balance blend. Perhaps your word was joy. That's a good one. I might have to have three because joy needs to be in there. Cheer or tangerine is a great choice. Those are also wonderful for creativity. To focus, if you want more focus in your life and centeredness, rosemary and lemon. Or for abundance, you could choose bergamot or wild orange. And bergamot, I know someone's word was love, I believe. So bergamot is also the oil of self-love. So that's a really great one to choose as well. And then Aisha, do you want to talk about our blend, Thrive in 2025? And I keep
Sure.
thinking Thrive in 2025. And the first thing that came to me when I thought of 2025 and we were talking about this call was fully alive in 2025. And when I think of being fully alive as my goal, I'm like, ooh, that sounds juicy. That sounds like what the world needs right now is all of us healers and creatives and just good-hearted people to be fully alive in 2025. I think
I'm really curious, just kind of the collective of all of us here. I know that the new year for me personally always feels like a new reset, right? And for the last several years, I felt like, oh, I hope this year gets better. And the last 4 years for me have actually been really, really hard, full of a lot of transitions, a lot of like deep old wounding coming up to be looked at and worked through. I went through a divorce, just a lot of stuff, so I don't know how that's been. Of course, we all went through the pandemic together and the political climate, just all kinds of things going on. And what my question for all of you is there was definitely something about the birthing into this new year. And I love that we're going into the year of the wood snake. And as Mika was saying, it's time to shed that old skin that really felt like almost a rebirthing into this kind of new space. So I personally have really been feeling that, and that brings a lot of hope and excitement. And I'm just curious, has anybody else felt that with this kind of transition? And it's not that that just happens on the 31st at midnight and then poof, it's definitely a process. But has anybody else experienced any of that? Or am I the only one? I think I saw a few hands go up. Yeah, Marty, I know Ariane and I have talked about that. So we came up with this blend, and this is something that we used some of the the oils that are real common in hopes that all of you have them, that hopefully you all got your frankincense last month when you could get it for free. And or we thought that this was a blend that you could also, if you choose an oil, you could also bring that oil into this blend. So 2 drops of frankincense, which brings in the grounding and the clarity, the connection with the intuition. 2 drops of wild orange for the joy and abundance. 1 drop of peppermint, which is very invigorating and just helps enliven the other essential oils. And then 1 drop of lavender, which brings in calm and balance. And this is something that you could layer on topically. You could make a roller bottle blend. You can put it in your diffuser. There's so many ways just to use the oils throughout the day to, make them part of your daily life. So this is our gift to you, the Thrive in 2025 blend. And that kind of wraps up what we have for this section. So before I go on to our announcements, I just want to see, is there anybody that would like to share anything, thoughts, experiences, inspirations? If you would like to just hop on before I do our close.
I would like to share. I was reading a little more about the lunar new, excuse me, the Lunar New Year. And it was so timely. It was actually from one of our community members, April Hansen, on a Facebook post. And she had shared something that was someone was practiced feng shui and knew about the Chinese Lunar New Year. And she shared that in the time of the end of the dragon, which is what we're in right in this present moment, that it was a time of 2024 was symbolic of a time of like a new birth and very early stages, and that the year of the snake was a time of growing up, of learning your lessons and maturing into what you have learned. And I loved hearing that because I was on social media and I saw a few posts of, ooh, 2024 was a rough year right before the new year started. And I was like, oh gosh, me too. And Aisha, you said that. So I really liked that. I was like, oh yeah, that just lands. So I just wanted to share that little piece.
We have a couple comments here. Catherine, curious if you have suggestions for how many drops of Zindacrine would you recommend adding to a 10 ml water roller bottle with fractionated coconut oil? Air, how many would I can share how many I would add, but how many would you add?
I would probably do like 30 or 40,
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
what
thinking
I
as
would do.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I always tend to go a little higher personally, but I'm a big oil user, so depending on your sensitivity, I would even say a range of anywhere from 20 drops to 50 drops. You could kind of again intuitively see what is right for you. Linda said my oil blend is motivate for motivation and to clear my clutter. Yes, I love that. And clutter can be both internal, our own internal clutter, and the external clutter. They usually are reflective of one another, right? Okay.
With the Zinacrin, I just wanted to add that that is a great detoxifier. So if if you choose to use that oil on your feet, you could also add a few drops to your water. It's going to be a lovely detox. However, if you find that you are getting headaches, that can be a sign of not drinking, not staying hydrated and flushing enough. So sometimes it's easy to forget when we rub something on our feet, we go about our day, that oil is going to be working. So just please drink a lot of water. And if you get a little headache, that might be a cue of, oh gosh, I'm not staying hydrated enough.
And bringing in the MetaPower Recharge would be a really, really good way to help your body with that detoxification process for sure. Let's see if there's one more question. Oh, I'm actually using Oh, this is Marty. You're using zindecrine aromatically in a diffuser, which is great. Another great way to clear the space. I know, actually, I love that whole concept of just using the zindecrine to continue. I think I'm going to diffuse it today. Like air it out, move it out, clear it out energetically, physically, emotionally in your home. you know.
I use endocrine in my sauna a lot, and I love it aromatically too. And then another blend that I love for, and I always diffuse in my kitchen, and I love for clearing out the space, clearing out the clutter, clearing out literally bad smells, and just cleansing emotionally, mentally, is the abode blend. And so I
Mm.
don't know if you guys have tried that or not, but oh, I just really adore that one. And it just smells clean to me. It's a great reset. So that's another choice too you could use.
Love it. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next slide. I want to give you all a little bit of a layout of what to expect in this new year as far as our call. As many of you know, I know some of you are here from Marty's team. Last fall at convention, Marty and I, through the years, have always, because our last names are Harley and Harger, we were always seatmates in the blue and presidential section, which was so wonderful. And so over the years, we've also traveled together. We have created a wonderful friendship, and we had this brainstorm of why don't we combine our teams and bring our resources together and open this team call on a broader level. So I know some of you are here for the first time. So if you are here from the Visionary Leaders Essential Wellness community, or if you are here from Marty's community, I just really want to give you a warm welcome. One thing that is so important and that I love about doTERRA is this sense of community. And it really doesn't matter if you're on Marty's team or Bettina's team or Ariana's team. In my mind and my heart, we are one team. We are one community, all supporting one another. And we have had this call ongoing, and it's changed form, and but we've had this call going for I don't many years, maybe over 10 years now. We've kept this call going consistently. And the way that we have it formatted right now is, again, it's every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. If you miss a call, we are visionary leaders. You can find the recordings with the video on YouTube. You can also find us on Spotify, and you can also find us on Apple Podcast. It is really helpful if you give us a few likes or a little love, just because that helps get those calls out on a broader level. But really, our mission, our purpose is to ultimately serve you and our community. So that's what's most important to us. We love it when you join us live, because that brings a lot of energy to the call. So the first call of every month will be kind of an open call that we will continue. We have fun different topics that we'll slide into the first call of the month. The second call of the month is always the oils A to Z call. This is led by Ariana and her kind of panel of doctors, which is Louise Rose, who's a naturopathic doctor, Mika Carew, who's a naturopathic doctor and a licensed acupuncturist, and Will Wan, who is a licensed acupuncturist. They talk about the oils from a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual aspect. So it's a wonderful call because we do a deep dive into one oil. We have on our Visionary Leaders website a catalog of all the essential oils that have been covered through the years. So if you chose an oil intuitively, right, and you're like, I want to learn more about coriander, you can go to the website and look up coriander and have a whole oil hour call on this topic. So I just want to make sure that you know we have these amazing resources. The third call of the month will be a business focused call. We do want to talk about the beauty, the abundance, and what an incredible opportunity doTERRA gives us to, one, get our oils for free, earn some additional income, and or, like many of us on this call have done, actually create your life's kind of purpose and main income with doTERRA. We always match you where you are. You're welcome to come and be a part of that as whatever level you like, but we want to make sure that we're having business conversations. We have some big changes coming this year in our comp plan. Can't tell you what those are yet, but they're going to be very exciting. So as that rolls out, we will be educating about that and sharing. And then the last call of the month will also be an open topic. One thing that we are doing this year is we've invited a lot of really exciting speakers. So people that are outside our team, and I've already announced this, but we have Dr. Hill joining our group on the last, can somebody, I think, is it the 28th? Yes, no, the 27th. So the 27th, Dr. Hill is going to be here with us personally. So bring your questions, invite your friends. This is a really, really special opportunity to have him all to ourselves. And we have the lineup of a lot of other speakers that are going to be joining us through this year. So please share this call. This call is open to anybody. Invite your friends, invite your family. Pay attention to the topics. And if you see a topic that's coming up that you know that your friend or family member would be interested in, it's a really great way to invite them into our community. We do this for all of you. So this resource is yours to share. You can add it to your newsletter. You can share the channels. You can post it on your Facebook pages, however it serves you best. I just want to kind of help broaden all of your thinking about what this call is for and how you can use it to benefit your own doTERRA business if you are growing a doTERRA business. If you have your own private Facebook groups, you can share it. You can share it on your pages, however you want to do it. The recordings get posted by Wednesday. So we do the live call on Monday. And then if you sign up for the Visionary Leaders newsletter, every Wednesday, 99% of the time, they go out at 10 a.m. and we have everything posted and all the recording links. And then also if you go to hellovisionary.life, on the front page are the links to the YouTube, to Spotify, and the Apple, and the link for the Zoom call is the same every week. We have a text reminder that goes out, but if you just add it to your calendar and put it on repeat, it's the same link every week. So I just wanted to kind of give you all that, kind of outline. I always assume everybody knows this, but realize that you may not. Are there any questions about the call or the function of it or any of that, or the newsletter before we wrap up? Or anything else that Marty or Ariana or even Bettina want to add, or anybody else?
I do want to add one other thing, just because I know it's a few weeks away with Dr. Hill, but I do want to say that we will have him focusing on a specific topic, and we'll be announcing that as it gets clarified with him. It is a really rare opportunity to get him on a call. And I can't emphasize that enough. This is a y'all come, and like really tell your people, if they can't make anything else this month, get on this call, because otherwise maybe you get to hear him for 20 minutes at convention, but to get an hour of time with him is remarkable. And I just want to encourage everybody to listen to the man who is truly the world's foremost expert on essential oils and happens to be one of the owners of doTERRA and the founders, who's been at one time chief medical officer. I mean, the man has just got unlimited knowledge. So it's going to be a phenomenal experience for everybody. And I really hope you'll be on the call.
Yes, and we want to show him a really warm welcome and have a large crowd here. So your presence on that call is so very important. You really matter, and it really matters that we're all here to welcome him. So yes, please, please, please make that call a priority. Yes. And yes, the call will be recorded if you're traveling. And then also there's a question, the links for every call are the same. So oils A to Z, business call, it's all the same link. So just, again, if you just grab that link, and the link can, if ever you're like, oh, where's the link? If you go to hellovisionary.life, the link is on the front page and you just click that Zoom link and it puts you right into the call.
And I
So
love
thank
that.
you.
I know you said it, Aisha, but I love that suggestion of if you just copy the link and put it in your calendar. Aisha mentioned this. It's really handy because I know I was always searching for it. Now that I just have it in my calendar, it's like, oh, perfect.
Yes, yes. So thank you all so very, very much. I hope that we all have a brilliant and beautiful and healthy and abundant year with ease and, walking into new possibilities and all the good things. I love you all so very much, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. We're going to do the deep dive into osmanthus with our oils A to Z, and we'll look forward to connecting with you all then. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you so much. Great call.